Our government is clueless when it comes to electricity generation. And in this article that I'm going to be covering now, this is from News 24, it's for subscribers. So I will always also put a PDF of this article in the Telegram channel for Des and Lauren. The fact that our government is clueless around electricity, the electricity crisis, Eskom, breaking Eskom down into three different entities, and how to do that, all the foreign interests in the country, etc., and everything playing out. Where does it leave us? It leaves us, the citizens of the country, without electricity for many hours every single day. And this has no way of stopping with the current plans that are in place. And in this article it says why it took Ramaphosa months to fire up what he wants the electricity minister to do. It's taken 11 weeks. I'm not going to go into the details of this. A new minister was appointed, Ramaphosa, and he has visited power stations within Eskom. That is all he has done up until now, but he has not been told what powers he will have. And opposition parties are very upset about this, especially the Democratic Alliance. And if I go to the end of this article, it says, curiously, Ramaphosa chose to issue this proclamation less than 24 hours after his comrades in Parliament voted to reject a DA motion to establish an ad hoc committee, another judicial inquiry, another this, another that. I think the people of South Africa are sick and tired of this, to oversee the project's activities and decisions of the Minister of Electricity. So this minister is going to get a lot of powers now, and the Democratic Alliance's official opposition has asked for a committee to be established to oversee him. But already this is going to cost the South African taxpayers a lot more money, and we'll get into what I think this role will be able to do in future, if anything. Now that Ramaphosa has powers in terms of Section 34 of the Electricity Regulation Act to determine new generation capacity, something that was taken away from Mantashe, pricing and private participation, the DA said the question that should be answered was, who should Ramaphosa be accountable to? And I asked myself, who is the DA accountable to? Who is the EFF accountable to? Who is the ANC accountable to? Who are all these parties in Parliament right now accountable to? Their funders. And in the current system, this is obviously problematic. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what is happening now with this whole mix mash with regards to electricity supply is not going to help in the short or the long term. I put out a plan a while ago, a 7-point plan to just mitigate what is happening in Eskom and stabilize things. And this is absolutely possible. At this stage, only time will tell if this minister will actually implement these things. In the last paragraph it says, this minister now holds powers that materially affect power generation in South Africa, and it will be scandalous for the ANC to shield him from parliamentary accountability and oversight. In all probability, he will now require a budget to fulfill his obligations under the Act. How will this be allocated when Parliament has essentially been sidelined, said the DA shadow minister. So at the end of the day, politicking is taking place. The official opposition, other opposition parties will fight what the ANC is doing. That's what politics is all about. And they're absolutely allowed to do that. That is their job in the current system. And this is why we are failing. We don't have politicians working together, sitting around the table, actually deciding what the best way forward is, because there is no plan. The first thing that people need to understand is that the electricity generation industry was never meant to please the people of South Africa. It was created a long time ago in the early 1900s to fulfill a very specific function. And that function was industry, to be able to extract minerals out of the ground and transport it to ports where it can be sent out to other countries that can benefit from them. And that is the basic crux of the matter. And as long as that is the requirement for overseas interests, they do fund many of the political parties that's in our parliament right now that see to their interests, just like the DA recently sent a group of people to the United States, just like the ANC sends groups of people to China and to Russia. It's all just international players telling our political parties what to do, and they are pandering to them. They get their funding from them, and this is why we need to change the system. So in the meantime, where does this put you? And this is what's important. The first thing I want to tell you is my heart was broken recently when I was at a hardware store where all sorts of products was on display, and people were desperate to get anything to keep whatever they need going, their internet, their laptops, their lights, etc., going in their homes without forking out 200, 300,000 Rand for a complete solar system with backup batteries, etc. And my heart broke when I realized that the salespeople had no idea how to actually help these people. They were selling people UPSs that should actually be portable power stations. Then they were selling people portable power stations that cannot do the job, because the big problem is here, even if you have lithium ion batteries, that you shouldn't run every single day below 50%. You can do it once or twice. It's never supposed to go that low all the time, and most people will run it low. They're not going to monitor their devices on a laptop or on a PC, and these devices give in after 6, 8 or 10 months if it's a good device. What you need to do is you need to buy something that can literally be rated for at least 4 times more than what you will consume, to make sure that you never go below 75%. And in the case of normal lead acid batteries, you can't even go that far, like the ones that you have in UPSs. So people are buying items now for 20,000, 30,000 Rand. That's not going to do the job for them. It's not going to last under these conditions. The load shedding we're experiencing now will cripple the country if they continue. And I will advise the government, whoever is involved, the minister, to look at the 7-point plan that I've laid out, and that they actually implement those things to just stabilize the situation. I'm sure that they will do that, and hopefully they will implement some of those actions so that we can get some relief. And one of the most important ones right now is to get good quality coal to most of the coal-fired power stations. We are losing between 5,000 and 6,000 megawatts. That's 5 or 6 stages of load shedding just to inefficiencies at the coal-fired stations. That is something we can remedy rather quickly by getting better quality coal to our stations. It's going to be cheaper than the diesel that we're supplying to all our gas-fired turbines. That should actually get gas lines. Start installing those gas lines from Saldanha to Ankerlig. Start installing gas pipelines at the Mosgas complex to Goriqua, so that they can run on natural gas. Even if you have to bring it in by ship, whatever the case may be, do that rather than burn the diesel. But you see, the ministers, wives, aunties, uncles, etc. are getting good money out of these tenders. They actually depend on it, especially the African National Congress. They need that money to drive that machine that will drive South Africa into the ground. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe to this channel, click the bell icon, and share this video with your friends and family.